Hello everyone. There are many types of nouns. Nouns are everywhere in every language. But what are the types of nouns you come across? And how do you use them? Today, I'm going to introduce countable and uncountable nouns. First of all, we have to know what nouns are. Nouns make up the largest class of words in most languages, including English. Nouns are the names of things, people, animals, places, and ideas, that is, concepts and feelings. Nouns can be countable, that means they can be counted, or uncountable, that means they cannot be counted. Let's look at these two examples. The first one, my parents bought me a mountain of exercise books. So in this example, parents refer to people. They can be counted. Likewise, exercise books can be counted as well, so it is a countable noun. And grammar is a concept which is impossible to count, so it is an uncountable noun. Let's look at the second example. Mr. Smith is the PE teacher at our school. In this example, Mr. Smith is a proper noun, that is, the name of a specific person, place, or organization. A proper noun is not countable and often starts with a capital letter. For example, Kelly Chen, Mong Kok, Lai King Catholic Secondary School. PE teacher refers to a person. It can be counted, so it is a countable noun. And school is a place which also can be treated as separated items, so it can be counted, and it is a countable noun. Let's see what countable nouns are. Countable nouns are for things we can count using numbers. So countable nouns may occur as singular, that means one. For example, I have a dog. Please note the singular form can use the determiner a or an. Countable nouns can occur as plurals, more than one. They can be counted using numbers. For example, I have 4 dogs. To form plural nouns from most nouns, we usually add s, but there are other exceptions where we have to add es, ves, ies. Let's look at them more in detail. And also please note that the nouns and their verbs must agree in numbers. So for example, this student writes slowly, but those students write very fast. For most nouns, we simply add s. For example, card. I keep all my cards in a file. For nouns ending in vowel plus y, for example, the word day or way, we also simply add s to it. We have 2 days to complete the project. For nouns ending in ch, s, sh, ss, x, or z, we have to add es to them. For example, the word box. Since it ends with x, we have to add es to them. For example, I helped the teacher move 2 boxes. Another example, bus. We change it to buses by adding es. For nouns ending with o, the plural can be formed by adding s or es. For this, we really have to remember off by heart whether to add s or es to nouns ending with o. For example, the word studio. We just simply add s to form the plural noun. But for the word mango, we have to add es to make the plural form. For nouns ending in f or fe, to form the plural form, we have to remove f or fe and add ves. For example, the word scarf, we remove the f and add ves. For the word knife, we remove the fe and add ves to form the plural noun. For nouns ending in consonants plus y, we have to remove y and add ies to form the plural form. Look at the example word city. We remove the y and add ies to it. Another similar example is the word activity. We also have to remove the y and add ies to form activities. For irregular nouns, there is no clear rule as to how to form plurals. Irregular plurals may take the following forms. For example, words like sheep and deer, the plurals remain the same. For words like man, woman, child, person, the irregular plurals have a different spelling. Some words are always in plural, especially tools and clothing. They are trousers, pants, jeans, scissors, etc. Now let's move on to talk about uncountable nouns. In English grammar, some things are seen as a whole or mass. These are called uncountable nouns because they cannot be separated or counted. For example, liquid, powder. Therefore, they do not have plural forms, as they refer to things seen as a whole. They always take the singular verbs. They cannot be used with a or an or numbers alone. Let's look at these examples. How can we reduce rubbish at school? Rubbish is seen as a whole or a mass, so it is uncountable. So as the word paper in the second example, don't use too much paper in lessons. Normally, paper is uncountable since it is a material. A material is usually uncountable. Therefore, we use the word too much to describe its quantity. Don't use too much paper in lessons. The word equipment does not have a plural form, even if you are talking about a lot of machinery. It's only in singular form. We use a piece of to refer to one unit. For example, a piece of paper, a piece of rubbish. Here are some examples, some common examples of uncountable nouns. Air, sand, fire, rain, snow, wood. They are all elements or substances. They can be seen as something that cannot be divided separately, so they are uncountable nouns. Some emotions or states of being are also uncountable, such as fun, love, anger, pleasure, sleep, stress, rest. For food or drinks, they are usually uncountable nouns, such as coffee, milk, rice, sugar, tea, pasta, meat. While animals like cows, pigs, chicken, lambs, and fish are all countable, the meat of these animals, that is, beef, pork, chicken, lamb, and fish, is uncountable. Some general categories, like homework, luggage, furniture, money, stationery, and music, they are also some common uncountable nouns. Some ideas or experiences which are hard to quantify are also uncountable nouns. Some common examples are advice, data, help, time, information, knowledge, news, and time. Now let's see how we can show the quantity of nouns. Here is a comparison of how you can show the quantity of countable nouns versus uncountable nouns. When we talk about a small amount, we use a few with countable nouns. As in the example, a few students were late today. For uncountable nouns, when talking about a small amount, we use a little. Look at this example. I need a little help with my project. When we want to talk about a large amount, for countable nouns, we use many. For example, there are many ways to practice grammar. For uncountable nouns, we use much. For example, we cannot find much information on this topic. We use how many when we ask questions with countable nouns and how much when we ask questions with uncountable nouns. Another way to talk about a large amount with countable nouns is a large number of. For example, the library bought a large number of new books. But for uncountable noun, we use a large amount of. For example, this tutorial center has a large amount of data. So data is an uncountable noun. When the amount is 0, we simply use no with countable and uncountable nouns. Look at this example. There are no copies of that book left. Copy is a countable noun. There is no space at the back of the classroom. Space is an uncountable noun. For both types, we simply use no when the amount is 0. When we are not sure about the exact amount or it is unimportant, we use any in both negative statements and questions with countable and uncountable nouns. We can also use some with countable nouns and uncountable nouns. In this example, there are some pens in that box over there. Pens is a countable noun. We can use some to talk about the amount. Here, the career advisor gave us some advice. Advice is an uncountable noun. We can also use some when we talk about amount that we are not quite sure of. Now, let's have a quick test to see if you are able to spot the mistakes in these questions. Can you lend me a big paintbrush or a paint rollers? What is wrong with this question? Here, rollers is a plural noun, so there is no need to use the articles a or an to show the quantity. Let's look at the next question. Also, how many paint do I need to paint this wall? Paint is an uncountable noun. It cannot be divided into separate parts, so we should not use how many. Instead, we should use how much here. After watching this video, I hope you are more familiar with countable and uncountable nouns. Remember, it is important to distinguish between countable and uncountable nouns in English because their usage is different in regards to both determiners and verbs. Thank you.